Hey, welcome back. Today I want to go over framing, sheathing inspection, some framing inspection. We finally got it all framed up. We got sheathing on, as you can see behind me. Roof's ready to go for us to install roof. We had guys kind of in and out of here a good bit. My framers really got this done in about 3 days. They still have some punch out things to do for me, but they've really been on top of that. I haven't had an issue with saying, hey, I need this changed or that changed. They've been on top of it. But I want to do a walk around real quick, just show what some of the things the inspector pointed out. Incredibly picky inspector we're working with, but very helpful. So I'm thankful for that. Some inspectors are picky and then they don't want to tell you. They're like, well, you should know, you're the contractor. And I've just been upfront with this inspector, like I'm acting as project manager. This is the second build project that I'll have before I can get my contractor's license. You got to do 2 in the state of Georgia, permitted jobs underneath another contractor, and this will be number 2 for me. So he knows that. So I've just been straight up, hey, I don't know a ton, can you help me out? And just communicating that to him has been very, very, very helpful, because he's like, hey, you may not know this, but you may not know this, but this has got to be done. So I'm gonna walk through and point out on the sheathing what he wanted changed. My guys already changed some of it, but I already saw some stuff they didn't. He wanted like shims put in between studs on a load-bearing wall. If he could get his tape measure underneath the stud, between the stud where it comes down on the bottom plate, if he can fit his tape measure, he said he wanted me to shim that. Sounds absolutely stupid. I get the logic behind it, but I mean, a stud, I had my engineer tell me a stud can hold 1,600 pounds vertically straight up. So if you got a wall with 10 studs, that's 16,000 pounds that wall can hold, and I'm pretty sure it could support the weight of the roof. I haven't done the measurements or the calculations on how much the roof is, but I need to shim 1 stud to make this guy happy. So it is a delicate dance. You just tell the inspector, like, okay, yeah, we'll get it. So he came out for sheathing inspection, and we clearly weren't ready for it. I didn't walk it first. My framer said, hey, you're ready for sheathing inspection. I wish I had walked it first because I could have canceled, but he was being nice. The inspector said, I can cancel it upon your request. So if you ask me to cancel, I won't charge you. So I said, yeah, please cancel it. I said, but if you're here and if I need to pay an extra fee or whatever, that's fine, but could we do a walk around and you just point out anything else? And he went like into it. So let's go take a look at what we are gonna have to change for this guy. All right. So on the zip system over here, we got to have a 6-inch nail pattern, and we've definitely got 4-inch here. And then on my verticals, I got to have 6-inch as well on my nail pattern. Anything that was overshot like this is not okay. He said it's got to be like that. So they had to, anywhere we have an overshot shoot, we had to come back and do this. Same thing here. And so my framers have done pretty good at coming back through. On any of the verticals where we have studs, we've got to have 6-inch nail pattern that's not overshot. Then down here where we have the break, because we got 10-foot walls, on the back side we've got to have blocking. So my guys got blocking, which is great. There was one spot we were missing it, and he called that out. On this wall here, where this LVL hits, he told me I need to cut the top of those 2x6s and put a vertical 2x6. And I said, okay. And I just asked him, like, what's up with that? Why do I need to do that? And I've been thankful that he's not getting pissed off at me or upset. He's just like, hey, if you were to shoot into that LVL and get that bottom corner, you would blow it out. And he said, that's not okay. So, like, funny to me, because it's like, well, my guys did the 3x3 nail pattern I'm about to go over, and they didn't blow it out. But it's funny to me because I know this LVL is like overkill, and engineers build stuff a little bit overkill. So it's like, probably doesn't need it, but I need to pass inspection, so I gotta do what the guy says. So I'll come out here real quick and show you this. So on this nail pattern here, when you have a garage door, at least in Cherokee County, you got to do a 4x4 nail pattern, but two nails by 2 nails. So like that one's not going to pass. So I'm curious if he's going to let me go here. So my guys took the time to mark this out, but then totally missed it. So it's really funny to me. This inspector is probably going to call this specific thing out and say, sorry, fix it. So that sounds crazy, but that's how some of these guys are. And so like this is overshot here. He's not gonna be okay with that, but then they put this nail here. So I'm hoping we can pass, but I'm gonna double check. But then same thing here, they marked it for 2 by 2, and then you've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That it's just goofy. I don't quite understand what my framer's doing here, but we'll go over it. So I know I'm being super picky on this, but I'm just pointing out what the inspector told me yesterday, and why we didn't pass inspection. But if you see up here, we've got like a 3 by 3 nail pattern. When you have a garage door opening on that corner and this corner, you've got to have 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, so it's 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, so a foot, but every 3 inches over and every 3 inches up. I don't know how well the video is taking that in, but that's got to be done in the right corner and the left corner. Then where we have this break in the sheathing, from the top of the door, he said it had to be something like, couldn't be larger than 6 feet, and we're within 6 feet on this break of the sheathing here. He said that's because this wall is less than 4 feet. If this corner wall was more than 4 feet, we could have brought that piece of sheathing down. My framer did do that right, and I am very thankful. Besides nail pattern, my framers have done really well, and I'm very thankful. I'm just sharing this video on what I'm learning and what the inspector's teaching me, kind of the hard way. But I say hard way, I'm not losing money. I'm not losing a contract. I'm not losing the job, but it's just annoying. It takes time, and time eventually does cost money. Almost stepped on a board almost stepped on a nail. But yeah, so they came back through and did pretty good. This is probably a little bit more than, I'll show you here. Sorry. It's a little bit more than 6 on 6, but that's what these markings are for. Now this is 16 on center, so we're good, but he came back through. My framer came back through and took some good, like just went back over it. So I'm thankful for that. So I need sheathing inspection to pass. That way I can tape all of this. And that's how the zip system works. Once you tape it, you don't need to do a vapor barrier. So we can pretty much tape it, and once we have that, and then we can put our fascia boards on and install the roof and get this dried in. Yes, I still need windows and I need doors. We have ordered windows and we're waiting on them, and we're waiting on doors as well. And then anything that he said that has like a hole, it's got to be 4-inch on center. So my guys have got that. So I'm thankful for that. And I don't know, but I can see the nails here really good. So they went overkill, and that's really what needs to be done. I mean, there's just a lot of nails right in there. And all the way down here, they can't be overshot. So the inspector better like this or I'm gonna be upset. Same thing here, we have to put the OSB sheathing here. Same thing on this, it's gotta have sheathing on it. And then all the hurricane straps have to be on for rough inspection. He's gonna check that later, but that's all gotta be done. So, yeah, I know this is a little bit, I'm being super tedious, but that's how the inspector was to me yesterday or Monday. I think it's Wednesday. And it's just annoying to me that it's got to be that tight. But again, that's the job of the inspector. I hear contractors complaining all the time about the inspectors, think they know everything. They're just enforcing code. They really don't know everything. The guy literally opened the book and said, let me see. Oh yeah, here's the pattern. So they don't know everything. If they come across as a know-it-all, at least my experience, I've worked in Fulton County, Cobb County, and Cherokee County, Georgia with some different permits. If you treat them nicely, they will normally be very nice to you and not be know-it-alls. But if you really push back on them, they'll start acting like you're an idiot and treating you like you're an idiot, and then failing your inspections 2 and 3 times in a row just to make you feel stupid and bug you. So I have a friend up the street building a house, and he's been doing this for 30 years. And he's like, this inspector, he's got the same inspector. He's like, he's driving me nuts. He wanted, the bolts on the bottom plates 3 feet on center, plus where there's a joint, plus at the doors. So I asked the same inspector, I said, hey, how far apart do you want them? He said, yeah, 4 to 5 feet's the code. So and then on the joints and then at the doors. So I don't know if he's pissed off the inspector, but I'm really trying not to. So inspectors make my job easier, because then I can tell certain clients that potentially may buy this house. Like, we had a guy come look at it. He wanted to know how many years of experience I had building houses, and this is the first new construction full house build that I'm responsible for. And this particular buyer was concerned about that. But my answer to him is like, that's why we have code, and that's why we have inspectors, to make sure that your spend is secure, and that you're not wasting your money or blowing your money on somebody that just thinks they can do this. So it's a checks and balances, and it allows me to make sales and close deals. And that's the value of having the county come back after you. Don't hate them, work with them. If you work with them, trust me, your life will be a lot easier. So we'll go back through here and keep going. But he pointed out, I think, this stud right here, definitely this one. I mean, like that's ridiculous. Like less than 1/8 of an inch. I gotta shim that, and there's nails in it. And he said, don't just put the tip of the shim in there and break it. I gotta see the shim. So that, and then there's a much bigger gap here. You didn't even see. I don't even know if you can get. Yeah, I can't get the angle on that. That bugs me. So for me, that's a big deal. I'm like, come on, man, what a waste of time. But I didn't say that to him. I just rolled with it. Over here we had, sorry, that was really bad. We've got blocking, and no blocking. He called that out, so that's got to be fixed. So before we tape, I've got to put some blocking there, have my guys do that. They've put the bolts in, which is great. So we've got bolts here and bolts at the end. And then, like I said, every 3 feet. So these guys did really good on those bolts. Super thankful. Every 3 feet. We may have to get a couple more, but the inspector should be just fine with that. So bolts are in, went over sheathing pattern. I want to point out this on the front porch here. I'm going to turn the camera back around. This is kind of goofy, but it makes sense. At least this one makes sense to me. The shims make sense to me, but it's like that's just overkill. So on this front porch here, I'll show you here where we have this beam supporting this little overhang. We've got joints right there. Okay, wherever there's a joint on the front, this would technically be like a beam. We have to put a post. So what's really goofy about this is, like, I'm not gonna put a post right here because that's not gonna line up with the front porch. And we had one, I think he changed it, I'll have to measure, but there was like one, yeah, he changed this because there was one right in the middle, and I don't think that one's the one, but the spacing on it is what's important. Because if we had a post here, and that would kind of line up with that if you went straight across, and that's okay as long as we can do one here and come straight across. But it was literally right in the middle, and I don't know if he's just covered it up so I don't see it, or so the inspector doesn't see it, but it kind of looks like that. I can see a splice. I can't put a post right here because that would be literally right where that's at, and that would look really stupid. So I may just order an LVL and go all the way across this, but I don't want to keep blowing money. So the guys need to get that fixed for me. Yeah. Also, when we come in, the plan's called to have this. This is like 7.5 feet right here. This height, this is the dining room to the left. I want this cut up in the same height as the doorway. I don't know why the framers framed this so low. It looks really stupid. Because when you walk in, you've got this big vaulted ceiling back there, and this will cut that, so you won't see that vaulted ceiling at all from this front doorway. So, but once that's gone, we have a really nice big vaulted ceiling. They've tied this in really nicely. The inspector was happy about that. We are going to put like a 18-foot some beams across there so we could build this up here. That way we can drywall it. This will be the kitchen over here. We'll have an island right here. This will be our dining room. We're gonna do a nice 4-foot oven here and a 4-foot hood vent. We're gonna vent this out the back. That way it's not going out the front. We're gonna have really nice lighting here. This is a breakfast nook. And then we're gonna have 2 double door French doors right here. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3, or 3 bedroom and a full bathroom right there. So super excited about that. I know lighting's not great, it's kind of early in the morning here. We'll have a half bath right here. So you'll come off the kitchen. I'm standing in the kitchen, that's where the view's at right now. I like this plan a lot. You got garage here, stairs going up to bonus room. We're gonna do a little built-in here, but then you get kind of like a nice hallway. This is laundry room and that's the master bedroom. So one thing the investor said is we'll probably put like a barn door here, or even maybe frame it out for a pocket door, but then give this side of the house some more privacy. So if people are hosting or they got people in town, you could have some more privacy in your master. The investor's wife says she wants to make these windows higher. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a waste of money and time, but we already ordered windows, so she wants to order new windows. That way when you put your end table here and there, or your bedside table, it doesn't block the window. I'm for more light, but I also won't be living here, so I don't have to worry about it. This will be full bath. We'll have vanity here, his and hers. They framed out my shower, which was not supposed to happen, so I'll have to tell them to remove all of that because we want total glass doors here. And then here will be our water closet. They're gonna move the hot and cold into this, and we'll have a nice freestanding tub here. Huge master closet. This is probably bigger than the room I had growing up. Super excited about that. And this will be our laundry room. We'll have a pocket door here. We've got a really nice opening. And then we're gonna do like a nice laundry room sink, not one of those plastic tubs. At least we better not be, but we'll have built-in cabinets here, some cabinets on the wall, and then washer and dryer will be on this side, and probably some more cabinets or countertop on top of those. We'll go upstairs real quick. Feels really good to have this going where we're at. We could go ahead and start on mechanicals now, and go ahead and get some wires pulled. We're gonna put our breaker box right there in the garage closet. But this is kind of nice, this bonus room. It's pretty big. You'll have all this space here. You'll have nice windows here. This will be our bonus room bathroom right here. So not huge, but regular, like 5 foot, probably by 8. So shower will go over here. Then you'll have like a small vanity and toilet, or vanity and toilet, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the plans on that one again. This closet feels bigger, so I might tell the plumbers to make this the bathroom. It's got nice 9-foot ceilings here, so it's high. It'll be a nice sized bathroom. And then these plans already had a mechanical room for the HVAC right here. This is above the kitchen. Tons of space for HVAC. The guys can stand up. It's not a problem. It can hold the weight. This is inside the trusses here. And then the way the truss lays out and the pitch of the roof, I think we have 12 pitch. Makes this really easy to get in here with HVAC ductwork, as well as down this way. And I may go ahead and get some OSB and have one of my guys put some more OSB down, so that way it makes it safer for my HVAC guys, as well as a homeowner one day if he needs to get over there and drop something down, or if fiber changes or internet or something. It makes life easier instead of walking on 2x4s that are nailed down. But if you have the time and the ability, go ahead and do it and make life easier. I know over in that window in front, the roof trusses have verticals that I don't like, and I know I'm gonna have to put a curtain up or paint it or something, so to make my area safe over there is gonna be a pretty good idea. So yeah, so sheathing inspection, went over bolts a little bit. Square bolts at the garage are very important. I didn't really talk about that, but where the garage door, we'll go down there real quick. All right, so where this garage door's at, and on this side here, they don't have the bolts in yet, but you've got to put these square washers in. It's a 2x2 square washer. The inspector said that one was fine. The bolt's gonna go right there and hold that washer in. And then you've got to have another one right here. So both these bolts have to have 2x2 square washers. Same thing on this side over here. You've got to have a 2x2 square washer and a square washer. You will absolutely fail rough inspection if you don't have that. Also, if your framers frame on top of that, take a picture beforehand. A lot of times the inspector will pass you if you've got a picture and if you can't see it, okay? So you don't wanna do all of your rough in and all your rough plumbing and say, hey, it's good, I like it, my plumber, my electrician said it's good, I'm gonna drywall it. I know most contractors know not to do that, but some homeowners or people that have pulled their own permits don't know to do that. Make sure you have inspection before you put drywall up. Otherwise, you're going to be hiring a mechanical HVAC engineer, an electrical engineer, a framing engineer, or structural engineer, I guess, and they will have to sign off on everything, and that will cost you a whole lot more. Don't skip having your inspector out, okay? Also, if you're building a house and you're using cash, it's a really good idea to go ahead and pull a permit and have, even if your county doesn't require it, but have your county inspector, and if there's no county inspectors, because I know some rural areas don't have that, get an engineer, because it will protect your value in the sense of resale value of your house. So it's annoying, and I was just preaching about that at the beginning of this video and how annoying those inspectors can be, but it absolutely protects your investment to have those inspectors out. So hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep making videos as we're going along. Next, we'll have plumbers coming out doing rough plumbing. Then we'll have roofers out, or siding guys for fascia board. That fascia board's got to go on before your roof does, because they've got to put drip edge on that, on top of the fascia board, and then the roof goes on, and then the siding can get done later once windows and doors are in. So we're still waiting on doors and windows, but as soon as I got those, we can slap them in, tape them, and siding can run, roof on, and then we're really dried in at that point. So anyways, hope this was helpful. Hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.